Hey guys, Cody here. So I'm just doing the initial setup here, so I just kind of wanted to run through it just as if you had, say, just pulled into the campground and you're going to get set up, okay? I have the battery on right now, so first thing we would want to do is, of course, get unhooked and pull the truck away. Next thing, we're going to go in here to your auto level system. Press both of these arrows at the same time. That's going to turn it on. There'll be a green light there. Then you just hit auto level. And there's let's see here. Usually they put the instructions for that little switch around here somewhere, but anyway, we just hit auto level and we let it go. And it drops the front down first. Okay, and then it will bring the front back up to where it is level. And then it's going to start dropping the rear jacks, which they consider the middle and the very back ones as the rear. So it'll drop all of those, lift it slightly, and then it'll do it side to side. You gotta grab your power cord while it's doing that. So feel free to skip ahead in the video. All right. Big, giant 50 amp power cord. All right, by the time it can get this hooked up, it's already done leveling itself out, so that worked out perfect. Now we do have a 45-foot cord, so that's all right. So we got it plugged into 50 amp now. Got a 45-foot cord that comes with it. It is all auto leveled now. So you can see tires start to come off the ground because our lot is not very nice and level. You do have main switches right when you walk inside the door for slide, both your awnings and your main light. But your main panel is going to be right here. Okay, and we'll go through this second, but we'll just bring the main slides out by using the switch here. Then we'll have to do the bedroom one separately there. Okay, and wait 1 second here. Take those down. There we go. Now setting up these couches, they do have little latches for them and the plug-in for the end recliner. And there you have it. All set up, put together. Recliner just plugs in the back there. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to go over this main monitor panel here. It's kind of the brains of everything, and probably will take a little while for you guys to get used to. Go ahead, you got the lights, hit all on there, and then so you have all these ones that you can individually turn on and off. You can even go hit the arrow here if it will let me. There we go. You can change the brightness. You can have it flash different, whether you want it to flash or blink, or depending on what you're doing. If you want to have a party, you can go in here and change all these lights up. Otherwise, they're just all set to be solid. So that's the first button there. Second one is going to be your HVAC control. Just hit that one. These screens tend to be a little bit on the slower side. So then we got bedroom. That one's set to auto fan speed. So the bottom here is going to be your fan speed for your air conditioner. And then up top here is going to be your switch for whether you want heat, AC, or heat and cool. And then it will maintain the temperature that you set it for. And then on the very top here, we're set on bedroom right now. Okay, so bedroom is cooling down to 68 degrees. And it tells us that it's on cooling down. We'll hit garage there. And this, so you can set the low temp, high temp if you want on heat and cool. We'll go ahead, turn that down onto cool. We don't need to get it quite to 64. But then that one will kick on. And then we go back here to main, up on the top. Give that a second. Okay, and then this one's going to be slightly different. Okay, so if you notice down below here, you have prefer gas or prefer heat pump. That's going to be for your heat, or if you have it on heat and cool settings, because in the air conditioner on the main AC unit there is a heat pump. Okay, so we're just going to put this one on to cool, set this one at 68 degrees as well, then all three of them will work together, get the entire coach down to 68 and maintain. Okay, but back to the heat. So if you have it on heat, you can have it, if you hit prefer gas, then the furnace itself is going to run. If you hit prefer heat pump, then you're basically the fan on the air conditioner is going to turn on, and you got a heating element inside the air conditioner that will also blow out heat. And I believe if you switch it over to other, it will run both of them to help warm it up together. The heat pump is not a replacement for the furnace. You know, if it's 60 degrees in here, it will heat it up slowly up to 70. But if it's 50 degrees in here, it's going to take a long time for it to actually warm up this entire coach, and that's where the furnace is more ideal. Okay. The other thing too, being we're on the HVAC, but up top here, you do have all the temperatures for everything. Okay, so that's telling you live temperatures. The bedroom AC kicked on right away when we plugged it in, so that's why that one's already cooling down. All right, we'll go over to monitor panel, which is the next switch here. Maybe. There we go. Okay, and this is the monitor panel. You do have all your tanks off to the left-hand side here too, so fuel, black 2, fuel, and then your main black, fresh, and gray tanks, those are all on there. And then this monitor panel switch is going to be where your water heater is for electric or gas, and then water pump on and off, and your water tank heater. Okay, and the water tank heater is actually for lower temperatures. If it's below 32 degrees, kick that on. That will keep your tanks from freezing as long as you're not going really cold, I guess I should say. And it does help to have the furnace on as well. The next panel is going to be the awning. Okay, so you got the 4 of them here, okay? So your main awning, patio awning, rear awning, and the side awning for the back. These two, this one's over the garage entry door. This one, or I'm sorry, the side awning is over the garage entry door, the rear awning is over the patio. And then your patio awning is the one off the slide room, and your main awning is your main one off the door here. Okay, and then you can slide this over, and it will bring us to generator, which is next, which we don't have on board. So that one is not going to be any use for as of right now. Leveling. Can do the levelers from in here as well. However, I prefer to do it all from outside so I can see what's going on. It's just nice to have it in this system, as once you hook your phone up to the system, then you will have the auto leveling system in there as well. But auto level right up top here, hit that button and it'll bring you to the next page where you just hit start auto level. Okay, it's kind of hard to see. This whole thing is really bright on my phone, but it's not in person, so you'll see that. Auto hitch, you can start that too. It's going to bring up the rear jacks, remember the rear and the middle jacks, and it will adjust the front of the camper to where you dropped it from. And then manual level mode, hit that one, and then so you got sides, front and back. I got sides and corners up top here, so then you can do each corner independently. Or this one's just for this side, just the back, just this side, and this will adjust corners independently. They've really made this system a lot easier. It used to be a lot more difficult, but this one you basically just hit the button. Auto retract all jacks, that option is in here as well. That one you do not want to do unless you are already hooked up to your truck, so keep that in mind. And then advanced options here, I don't know what's in here, we'll find out. You got a 0 mode to recalibrate the level point, and then trouble code. So this is basically just for shop if they ever need to get in here. Alright, so the next one. After leveling, we got the slides. Alright, so main slide, that one is going to be the 2 living room kitchen slides. And then the other one is going to be for your bedroom side. So that you just push and hold, make sure everything's out of the way, of course. It'll stop automatically on its own when it's all the way out. You do have a switch in here for that too. So just they always put the switches so you can still bring them out if for some reason that panel itself is not working. But anyway, that's pretty much everything on the main panel. If you hit that switch, it's going to lock the screen, open it back up, and it brings you back to where you left off. You do have little buttons down below here. Didn't mean to hit that one. Don't mind this part, I'm just restarting it. Takes a little while to for this little guy to boot up, and that's why, like myself, I prefer to use the switches for the slide rooms and the leveling outside, just because this can take a little bit of time to go. But anyway, that's the gist of this system. It's better once you do get it on your phone, and that's the main idea behind this, is to have it on your phone, but you have the digital screen there for everything else. So that's kind of the brains of the whole operation. See how long it takes to load up here. There we go. Alright, so then it brings you back to the main screen here. So this will always be your home screen, so to speak. Alright, now for the rest of it. They do have all of your accessories here, so we'll make sure all that's good to go. But microwave is going to be the same as you'd have at home. The cooktop, that you just flip it over, and as you push in to these, it lights the burners. Okay, so similar to home, same type of setup here, except on the oven side of these, they do not have a pilot that'll stay lit the entire time. Like at home, yours stays on all the time for the most part. So this one, you just, same thing though, you put it to the burn position and it will light the pilot down below, and then you can switch it over to what temperature you want. And there is a little panel light here for an accent light, and the oven light on the other side. I don't have the propane on, so that's why I like to leave it off, just to do that, to show you. Refrigerator, the Norcold refrigerator, nice big power button, left hand side there, turns on. It is automatically either gas and electric, and if you can see here, right now they had it set on propane as they were testing it on propane in the shop, but we'll go back and we'll put it to electric or gas. And it just detected that we're plugged into electric, so it's going to run off of that. If we go and we unplug right now, or we lost power, it would automatically switch over and start on propane. Or, if you wanted to run it on propane, then you just keep hitting the switch and switch it over. And then the last button here, this is just to control the temperature inside. So 9 would be the coldest setting. Otherwise, nothing else really in here that you got to worry about. Just those main screens, and to turn it off, push and hold. There you go. All right, and then got some remotes here. Another one there. So the fireplace does have a couple different settings. This is in our way. But all these buttons on the remote are right by the number there. So you can change the colors. Next one would be your heat setting. And this, you hit the number just like that, so the number is on, and then you use the bottom button here, set your temperature. Or you saw the first one, it'd be on all the time then. Okay, and then the next one, this little time button, that you can run for 8 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3, 4, all the way up to 8 hours. Okay, otherwise you can just have it off, and it's going to just have the lights on. It looks kind of flickery on my camera phone, but that's just the LEDs. Alright, and then this light is on here. that's reflecting on. There. TV, it is the Roku TV. Might have some of this stuff in the way. So we're just running off of the live TV or the antenna right now, but it is a smart TV, so you got all the extras on here, but pretty standard setup. It is a Roku TV, so you got to make a Roku account before you connect it to the internet or before it hooks up to internet, so you can download apps and all that. But that's pretty straightforward. Don't need the heat on when we got the AC on. All right, and then back here you are going to have separate light switches here. So patio light, scare light, porch light, ceiling light, auxiliary light. I think that's for the side. We'll figure that out, play around with those. Extra awning switches, and then you have the bed switch up and down. Okay, so when you do these beds, let's see, yeah, they have it set like this, so I'll show you. Feel free to speed through this while it's going down, but basically right now we have it set up where it's bringing both bunks down. I'm going to show you how to lock the top bunk up and just bring the couches down. You'll have to bring it all the way down, just like I'm doing right now. Okay, once it drops like that, we'll go down a little bit further so I can squeeze in back there. All right, now you're gonna have these little latches here. You got one on each corner. So flip these out, just like that. And I found some tools from one of the techs. Okay, and then these back ones are kind of difficult to get to, of course, if you don't have them all the way down. You can flip them up just like that, out of the way. And you can squeeze back here. Flip that one out. That one out. And then lastly, that one right there. Okay, then you want to put these back so they're flat, because we are going to have to bring it back up. Okay, and then you got the remote there too. Alright, now we'll go all the way back up. Feel free to fast forward through this part here. It takes a little while. Alright, we're just about there, so once it gets all the way to the top, you're going to hear a loud, there it is. So that was the top bunk locking into position up top. So now we hit down and just the bed's going to come down. Or not just the bed, but just the couches, I mean. So that's how you do that. And to reverse it, to bring the bed back down, you would just do the exact opposite what I just did and flip these back so they're like that. Okay? And you can flip these beds down too. You got a pin here and a pin on the other side. You pull those pins out and then you come towards the middle and you kind of pull up and out just a hair, and then it'll release and drop it down. It helps having two people do it. Just just so once you pull the pins out, then you got somebody back here that can hang on to it and do it with you. But pretty easy process overall. You got both the ladders, so one of these ladders is going to be for the bunk up top, the bed up top I should say, and then the other one is for the loft up above here. Then you got the stairs for the patio system, your kingpin tripod, and then the washer and dryer installed, ready to rock and roll there. And I think that's what, yeah, that was as tight as he could get it locked in there. So make sure that's all good and solid, not going anywhere. Both the Momentum patio chairs, and then your little half bath here. These are really nice because then you can sit on the toilet, wash your hands at the same time. You know, multitask. But really, it is a great layout just for having the half bath back here. Works out really well. Doesn't take up a lot of garage room, which is a huge plus. This TV is on a swivel drop down, so you can drop it down lower so whoever is sleeping in the couches, or if you just have the couches down, it's a little bit lower, more at eye level. And then these two couches and this end one here, they have the heat, massage, and the lights in them, and the USB chargers. So lights in the middle, and then you got the massage, heat, and these do have different modes to them. So the brighter the light is, the higher the mode is. Same with the heat, you got a high, low, medium, or I think it's just high, low, off. High, low, off. Yep. But the massage has 3 different settings to that one. It'll be the same for that one, and this one here on the end. 2 of these end chairs, it's actually these 2 right here, are the foldable ones. So if you did not need those, you could fold them up, put them underneath the bed, put them up at the loft if you're not using the loft up there. Central vac is right here. Flip that up. That way you can sweep up anything. There is a hose attachment here too. And that you just plug the hose in and it'll turn on. You do have all your fuses and breakers right here by the stairs as well. If I can get it open, there we go. So all the 110 side of fuses will be in this left box, and they're just similar to household breakers. They're all labeled in there. But if you got something that's not working, first place to check would be here, of course. And then next set here is going to be all the 12 volt side of fuses. So it's like you got 15s, 20s, 130. Good to have a couple extra of those on hand, and then those are all labeled right inside of here as well of what those are for. Alright, the bathroom in here, pretty self-explanatory. The only thing to know in here, you do have GFI outlet located right here, so if this is ever flipped like that and you got this light on and you have no power to outlets inside the camper, good place to start is just coming back here to check this, make sure that that's not tripped. And then in the bedroom, you do have another spot to mount a TV up top here. These little guys are temperature sensors for the HVAC system. So if you're ever wondering what that is, I think there might be one in the there's one in here and probably one in the garage too. Well, that's what those are for. Light switch, slide room switch, and then each side of the bed you have outlets and USBs. You got these 2 switches here, and then you have 2 more light switches for your individual reading lights. And then there is storage underneath the bed, of course, with the legs for the table for the garage. we strap those in up there just so they don't roll around anywhere. Alright, that's about it for in here. I ran through everything pretty quickly, so definitely watch and double watch and just so you have everything. I'm trying to remember if I forgot anything in here, but I think we should be good. If you guys have any questions, inside or outside, do write them down on a piece of paper as you're watching this, just so when you get here we can go through those, get them taken care of. But I'm going to go ahead and start on the exterior now, and we'll go through that. Beautiful day out today. It's 71. Alright, so exterior, we're just going to start in the front here and we'll go around, wrap around. You do have your tire minder located right up front here. This little switch is going to be for these two lights up here for hooking up at night if you ever are. We'll flip those on. First door is going to be one of your 30-pound LP tanks. Got both of those off. They are full though. And the next compartment is going to have, you got a couple manual rod for the rear patio awning over the garage door. Then you have a crank for spare tire, the hoses for the central vac system, and then you have the water hose for your outdoor shower on the other side. We'll get to that. And then your central vac system itself located right inside of there. Easy enough to take this off here, lift up a little bit, and your bag is located right inside of there. We do not put the bag in typically. I will do it though, just so it's all set, ready to go. You can get the number off of here to order replacement bags though. Oh, I was doing the wrong side. Need two hands to do this. Then you have the other side that goes into this. Alright, so there you go. One side goes in here and the other side hooks up in there, but you're ready to rock and roll as far as that goes now. That just locks back onto there. You do have the battery disconnect inside of here. This will disconnect your batteries when you're storing it, and it is good to have it on just like it is right now when you're plugged in, when you're going down the road, when you're using it, and then to unplug it when you're not using it, just twist this and it'll flop out of there. Okay, and then you can put this cover over the top of it too, but turn it back on, push this in, there's a little tab up top, and then twist it all the way around, it'll lock in. You know you're good. You do have these motion sensing lights throughout the trailer too. The middle right now it's off. If you put it on two lines, it'll be motion sensing. One line will be on all the time. Then you have extra outlets out here and a spray port for your outdoor water hose that was right inside of there. Then your outdoor TV. Find the remote for that. And your backup camera is up on there. ready to go. I'm sure you have the plates already, so we'll put those on when you get here. Ladder, this just has 2 pins on the bottom that hold it into place. You just pull these out and then pull the ladder and it'll actually drop down. Your fuel station, you do have magnets to hold this up top, and this will turn your pump on and off. And left pump or left tank is for your generator, right tank is for your pump itself. So I tell all my customers, you know, if you do have to get the generator down the road, always fill into this tank, and then as you need fuel for the generator, to fill up the generator tank. Just so you don't fill up the generator tank and then you got stale gas in there that you got to try to siphon and get out of there. It works better that way. Okay. And then we do have one dump back here for this black tank, and your valve for it is located right there. It's open right now. Go ahead and close that, and then we'll actually put this cap on here too. Okay, and then if you notice here, there's another white handle here, and that white handle is going to be your freshwater tank drain, which is way back in there. If you can see it, there's a white drain and then there's a blue hose right next to it. The blue hose is going to be for your overflow for the fresh tank drain. So once it's filling up, once you got water coming out of that overfill, then you know you're full. Refrigerator vents on the outside here, there's nothing you guys need to worry about doing with those. Those are just for maintenance for the most part. And then underneath here, you got the other tank drain, and that's going to be your gray water and your black water for your main shower. And I believe your kitchen sink probably hooks up to this one as well. And then your valves for that system are actually located inside of here. Okay, those are also open, I think. Yeah. Okay, now they're both closed. They are labeled in here too. But when you're doing it, hook up your hose, get it set up, and then you'll come in here, pull your black tank valve first. So pull that one, let it drain out. Once it's just about done draining, you do have a black tank flush located right here. And if the dump station has a garden hose, you might as well hook that thing up here. And turn that on once your black tank is done draining, and let that spray around inside your black tank for, you know, a couple minutes, and it just helps spray around in there, clean it out. It works really good to help keep the sensors that read how full it is cleaned off. It does help with the smell too. So usually I'll like on mine, I'll let it drain out for a couple extra minutes while that's hooking up, that's running, and then you can turn that hose off and let it drain out. Close that one, and then pull your gray. Now your gray water is typically all soapy water anyway, so fairly clean, but that'll help clean out the main pipe itself, and it'll clean out your sewer hose. Okay, you just let that one drain until you're got nothing else coming out of the tube there. Water filter, you do have the wrench for it located here as well. The water filter for it is right here. We do not put them in, but if you want it in, there's water in here, so twist that off, drain that water out, put that back in, and you will have an air bubble in there, so just keep that in mind when you're running water out. Then you have the Naughty List system. This is very nice, easy to use. You do have the 3 cable satellite hookups on the side there. The hot and cold outdoor shower, this is where another spot where that hose will hook up. The nice part about this is you'll have hot water out here too. And then basically it gives you a picture for whatever you're going to be doing. You're dry camping, if you're filling up your freshwater tank, running off city water, winterizing, sanitizing. You just flip the valves to what it says. And this is your main hookup for everything here. Okay. You do have 2 fresh tanks on this Momentum though, so when you do have it on, say we want to fill up the freshwater tank, so that one's that way, that one's that way, and then flip this one down. Hook up our water hose here, that'll fill up your main water tank. You do have an auxiliary freshwater tank down here too to fill up if you wanted to fill up both of them. Okay, so just keep that in mind. They do not fill together. You do have to fill them separately. And then your low point drains. These are for winterizing mainly. Hot line, cold line. These are the lowest points of the drains. So if you open these up, you usually got to open them up. So you get a little bit of water in there. But that's going to be the lowest points of all the drains. So usually you winterize it and then open those up, let everything else drain out. All right, and then the auto leveling control here, back to this. I showed you before, we turned it on and then we did auto level. The other thing you have out here is hitch height, which you can do from out here, and you can retract all from out here as well. Okay, so if we hit hitch height right now, it remembers from the point where the front was from when I hit auto level. So it will go back to that point. So when it's bringing up all 4 rear jacks is what it'll do. And once those are all up, then it will adjust the front if it needs to. Yep, just a little bit. So nothing crazy. But I always do that on mine just to, because then you don't want to hook up to it while you have all the jacks down. And of course you typically bring the slide rooms in beforehand too. And then retract all. Like I said, don't do that until you get hooked up to the truck. But then once you're hooked up to your truck, you can just come over here and hit the button instead of sitting here and holding it. Okay, but you can do the front controls from here, which you'll usually have to slightly to hook up to the vehicle. You can go up a little bit, down a little bit, whatever you need. And it's pretty simple, pretty easy. All right, we skipped right across the water heater that's here. And there's really nothing you have to worry about here other than changing this anode rod once every couple years, depending on your water and the usage. This has a rod in there that will rot out, get rid of hard water. And then next one is going to be furnace exhaust vent. They do make covers that go over these to keep bugs out. Really nice to have. And then on this side with this propane tank, this is where you're going to have your regulator to flip back and forth between tanks. So once we turn the propane on, the only indicator that we have that is propane is this is going to flip from red to green. Okay, there's no high, medium, low. It's just you got propane or you don't have propane. Okay. All right. And the very front, of course, you got the Gen Prep. You got the T-Chocks. Some of the accessories that you got from Kevin. Battery located inside of here. Hydraulic fluid level. And then you do have another light up top there. But that's about it for up here. You do have these switches, which are your slide room wall operation. And just that you know where those switches are. If you ever have any issues, that's where it's at. But otherwise, that's about it. So like I said, if you got questions on the outside too, write them down. And once you guys get here on Thursday, then we can go through them, get you all hooked up, and get you back on the road. All right, we'll talk to you later. Thank you.